Happy Monday, Seattle hockey fans. Our team, the Seattle Kraken, that is, are on another 5-game winning streak. We're going to break down the victories over Vegas and the Anaheim Ducks. Also, have you heard about Shane Wright and what he's doing in the AHL? Well, we got some more intel and perhaps the Shane Wright problem as far as him cracking the Seattle Kraken roster might be solved, question mark. Let's talk about it on this episode of Locked On Kraken.
You are Locked On Kraken, your daily podcast on the Seattle Kraken, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We are the Seattle Kraken.
Hey, what do you say, Seattle hockey fans? Welcome to another episode of Locked On Kraken. I am your host, Erica L. Ayala. As always, I want to thank you for making us a part of your daily routine. Are we your first listen? Are we your last listen? Are we somewhere in between? Either way, I, for one, am grateful. Of course, this is a podcast brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, and I'm excited to be here with you on a Monday. We have 2 games to talk about. We've got Shane Wright to talk about. And then, of course, we have another game coming up tomorrow in the Pacific Division. Okay, so let's get into it without further ado. Let's get you back to that amazing game against the Vegas Golden Knights. I was on the road. I'm still on the road for this one, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I did see the first 4 goals. Not the first 4 goals for the Seattle Kraken. Of course, we get the 4-2 victory. I saw the first 4 goals overall. And needless to say, I was on the flight just hoping to get some updates, good updates. And I did, because the Seattle Kraken win this one 4-2, as I just mentioned, over the Vegas Golden Knights. If you listened to the podcast on Friday, you know I wanted this one. Oh, I wanted this one bad. And we got it. Now, we also talked on Friday about who would start. Well, look at that heading. Grubauer helps Kraken defeat Golden Knights in return. That's right. Philipp Grubauer, 20 saves on the night, 22 shots faced. 20 saves on the night. And just an amazing performance by Philipp Grubauer in his return. I had my reservations about Philipp Grubauer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I thought this was a great game. So I said it was 22 shots faced. He had a .909 save percentage. Even strength was 19 of 20, 1 power play goal that belonged to Vegas in their first goal. Phil Kessel got their second goal, and those were within roughly 2-3 minutes of each other. So I was like, oh boy, are we on our Kraken mess? But no. Philipp Grubauer is able to get it done. You know, I love seeing this. My boy, Ronnie Boy, scored the first goal. And it was interesting because on the Root Sports broadcast, they were just talking about how Ryan Donato scored the first ever Seattle Kraken goal against Las Vegas in Las Vegas. And then Ryan Donato gets them on the board. Okay, big story, in my opinion, here is Philipp Grubauer coming back. So let's take you to Philipp Grubauer for a little taste of what he said immediately after this win.
Are we going to the Wild Goose?
You ready, Mark?
Yep, good to go.
Philipp, you had to feel good about settling down after those first period goals. What was going through your mind going into the second period?
Yeah, obviously a little bit rusty there, sitting out for a couple of weeks. I mean, that's a little bit expected. But guys have been playing unbelievable. They made it really easy for me tonight. And once you make a couple saves, like everything is kind of settling in a little bit. And just amazing to watch from back there, how everybody is contributing and doing the right thing and no selfish plays and just make the right plays for the team.
Second period, Theodore's right, net front about middle period. Remember that play? I mean, Is there a point where you made a save and thought, okay, I'm back, or I'm feeling it here?
Was that the glove save? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those saves help. Doesn't matter if it's a shot from the blue line or kind of like a broken play off somebody. Got to make the save, and obviously there's timely saves in the game, and I think that was maybe one of them. But yeah, it's always in the next stop after. I don't think you can get really caught up in moments like that. Obviously, you can't get too high and can't get too low. So.
So that was Philipp Grubauer talking about not getting too high, not getting too low. Did feel that he was a little bit rusty. We saw a little bit of that maybe, but also, it's the Vegas Golden Knights, kind of a big deal in the Pacific Division, in the league overall. But we took them down. So all those haters that don't like my bold prediction that the Vegas Golden Knights will have to wait for their Stanley Cup, because we're winning one first. We are going to win the battle of the expansion teams. I said it. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but we are winning our first Stanley Cup before Vegas wins theirs. Okay, so I want to take you also to some instant analysis, some post-game analysis. What I liked about this game, this is the data-driven look by Alison, Lukan. Quickly want to get you here, because what I like is the offense 5-on-5, our offensive zone possession time. That's in its way kind of a defensive stat, but puck in the O zone, we're at 43% shot attempts, 51 the shot attempts leader Eberle. We talked about him on playback yesterday, and I like what Eberle's doing for the Seattle Kraken. We'll probably do a deeper dive a little later in the week, especially factoring in, I guess, what might happen against LA. But the entry denials, 69% entry denials, 77% zone exits, and the leaders there are Larson. I am a little tough on Adam Larson. I wish he'd really move his feet a little bit more. He does do some solid things, but there are situations where I do think he gets a little bit caught. And when we are exposed in those situations, that's not my favorite. And we'll talk about that later on the show, because we got another game to recap. I mentioned that this was 20 of 22, or excuse me, 20 saves on 22 shots for Philipp Grubauer, but not a quality start for either goaltender, and not a steal. That's kind of hard to believe in some respects, but you got to trust the data. And so not a quality start here, not a steal. I wonder if that just has to do with overall how Philipp Grubauer, generally speaking, is ranked. I factor in, well, what we saw last season, the fact that he's coming back from an injury and other stuff. So might have to talk to Alison, Lukan. Maybe I'll send her a message and get her analysis, a little bit of a deeper analysis on why this isn't a quality start for Philipp Grubauer. So I love that the Seattle Kraken get this win. This was a big win for the boys, or the men. I'm sorry. I try not to use the boys because I don't like it when people call women girl. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Donato gets on the board. Burakovsky with 2 goals, and Jordan Eberle got his 6th. Andre Burakovsky with his 7th goal. Alexiak back in the mix, feeling good. He gave us a little bit of a scare last night. We'll talk about that coming up on Locked On Kraken. But overall, this was a good game. It was a solid game. I like that we battled back. The Vegas Golden Knights, again, in that first period, they came right back. We scored 2, they came right back. And it was like, oh boy, is this Kraken crap again? No, it is not. It is not Kraken crap. Are we over crap completely? No, it still lingers. And we'll talk about that coming up on Locked On Kraken with the Anaheim Ducks team. But if, we all have that crap, right? We all have that stuff. We're not going to be on 100% of the time. What has been amazing to see is that we're overcoming the Kraken crap. We have more resolve. We have more, I don't want to say, try not to to assume confidence or lack thereof when I speak about athletes. we have more determination, resolve, more skills, more patience, able to overcome the Kraken crap. We are going to talk more about Kraken crap and then overcoming Kraken crap. We're going to talk about goaltending. And yes, is there a possibility that we will see Shane Wright in Seattle because of what happened and transpired against Anaheim? Question mark. All that is coming up on Locked On Kraken. But this episode of Locked On Kraken is brought to you by Simply Safe. If you've thought about securing your home with a home security system but have been putting it off, you'll want to listen up. Right now, Locked On Kraken listeners can order the #1 rated Simply Safe home security system for 50% off. This is their biggest offer of the year, and you won't want to miss it. Did you know that during the holidays, property crimes like burglaries and package thefts spike nationally? Well, that's why you want to get Simply Safe. They have an 24/7 professional monitoring agents that use Fast Protect technology exclusive from Simply Safe that will capture critical evidence and verify a threat is real so that you will get priority police response. And this professional 24/7 monitoring service costs less than $1 a day and less than half of the price of ADT's traditional professionally installed system. So don't miss your chance to save big on the only security system the Locked On Network recommends. Get 50% off any new Simply Safe system at simply.com/LockedOnNHL. There's no safe, Simply Safe. Okay, Seattle hockey fans, we have a lot about, and we're just going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it grooving because our Seattle Kraken team are once again on a 5-game winning streak. I love this. Final buzzer, Kraken out duel Anaheim, and this was a little bit of a wild and crazy ride. I am looking at this post game is coming from the one and only Bob Condor. So first, let's talk about this game. We were watching this game on playback. Thanks for everyone that did on playback. And there were technical difficulties, and not because of playback, but Anaheim had technical difficulties. So we got to hear the radio call on television. I know that's not supposed to happen, but I don't know. Am I alone? I thought it was kind of cool. I haven't listened into Everett and Dave in a really long time, so I enjoyed that. What I also enjoyed was the early start battle. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was fantastic. I was very excited. Whoops, sorry. I was scrolling over here. I was very excited about our early start. Seattle Kraken jumped out to a 3-goal lead. Yeah, it won. We had a 3-1 lead. Spoiler alert, this game ends up tied at 4 goals aside. The third period. Like it. Or was it the second period? The second period gave me fits. See, now let me pull up the box score because I'm forgetting what I actually saw. I was a little, if you were with me on playback, I was talk about Kraken crap. I was trying to stay positive. Because I didn't like it. This game made me nervous. This game made me a little bit upset. We had a bad penalty, an untimely penalty by Carson Soucy. So I'm getting flashbacks. I'm not liking it. But then, we settled in. Martin Jones got the start in this game. That's worth noting. So we did see Philipp Grubauer, not a quality start. He didn't steal the game per the analysis that Alison gave over Vegas, but we see Martin Jones back in net. No other changes. Dave Hakstol did not really get into too many details. I thought it was interesting. I think it was before this game in Anaheim where Dave Hakstol is asked about the team, and he said something akin to, he was asked, you lost to this team early on. what is different. And he said something that I thought was borderline ridiculous. He said that he didn't think that much has changed with this team. Am I the only one? I thought that was a little, like I said, borderline ridiculous. I think a lot has changed with this team. So I thought that was a weird response, but Justin Schultz was also asked pregame about that. I thought his response was a little bit more on par. And then this kind of plays out. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's hear what Justin Schultz said when asked about playing this Anaheim team that they lost to in the first game of the season.
Justin, you guys saw this team in your first game of the season. How have you seen your team grow since that first game against the Ducks?
Yeah, quite a bit. It's a long time ago. We're playing well right now, obviously, so just continue to do the right things and play hard. And it's not going to be an easy game. There's no easy games in this league. So we got to have a good start and come out of here with 2 points.
It's almost as if Schultz knew. It's almost as if Schultz knew. He said there's no easy games. He said, listen, we're a completely different team. And they did get out to an early start. Jared McCann, 33 seconds into the game, gets his goal of the season, puts the Seattle Kraken up, assisted by Eberle and Beniers. Then Alex Wenberg. Now this was like the coolest of goals. Wenberg was, there we go. I'm just going to shoot that. The ease, the effortless play early on in this game. I was so excited. I was so proud. Oh, I was so proud of our boys. They looked, I'm sorry, of our guys. I was so proud of our guys. They looked good. They looked confident. They looked calm. They looked like, yeah, we do this. We play hockey. We win. We win. That's what they looked like. Troy Terry, Kraken killer. Ugh. They brought that up on the Root Sports broadcast, and I was like, dang it, I forgot about that. And then I remembered Troy Terry scores the first goal for Anaheim at the 14-16 mark in the first period. But you know what? Vince Dunn gets it back. Now, Bjorkstrand and Gord get assists on this, but if you were listening to us on playback, Brandon Tanev, he got in position here in a beautiful, a fantastic way to really put essentially like screen, more like a block, a basketball style block, so that he created a seam for Vince Dunn to shoot in. Piper Shaw, we did get Piper Shaw interviews, which I loved, because again, the broadcast was all jacked up for whatever reason. Vince Dunn was asked about that goal. He's like, honestly, I don't know how that went in. We know. We talked about it on playback. That was Brandon Tanev. Hustle play. Love to see it. So after the first period, I'm feeling good about our guys. All right. Then the second period comes along and Derek Grant gets a goal. 3-2. Okay. We just heard from Schultz. Not going to be easy. 3-2. Okay, no problem. Then my boy, Matty Beniers, my guy, Matty Beniers, comes in, assist from Sprong and Schultz. Schultz, that assist on the season. We're up 4-2, 9:30 mark. And then things get a little bit dicey. Power play goal. 2 power play goals. Oh, Matty Beniers, his goal is a power play goal. So I love that as well. That was our first power play goal. And our only, anyway, we'll get to that. Then 2 power play goals. 16:34 and 17:55. Kraken crap, baby. And yes, one of those penalties was on Carson Soucy. It was Will Borgen for tripping, and then Carson Soucy back to back. Didn't like that. Started freaking out. You were with me on playback. Thank you for. I was trying really hard to keep it together. I was trying really hard to be positive, but I was not happy. I was not happy about this. It was Avish and Enrique. But then Daniel Sprong comes to the rescue. Yes, Matty Beniers scored our only power play goal. Daniel Sprong scores at the 3:41 mark, and that's all she wrote. We were able to hold on our 5th straight win. There was some Kraken crap. We overcame the Kraken crap. What I like even better, arguably, I liked our start. I did not feel that we had good starts. We could not get good starts. We have been getting good starts. So I liked that. So again, Kraken outduel Anaheim. A lot of conversation about Daniel Sprong and Bob Condor's piece. I talked a lot about Daniel Sprong, an amazing story. His goal, an 11th point in 14 games, is the game-winning goal for us. Thank you, Daniel Sprong. So coming up next, I said we were going to talk about Shane Wright. We're going to talk about Shane Wright in Coachella Valley, and we're also going to talk about Shane Wright in relation to this game. We had some players go down. One came back, one didn't. And could this be an opportunity for Shane Wright, especially given how he's been playing in Coachella, to come to the Kraken and show us what he's made of? Let's talk about that coming up next on Locked On Kraken. This episode, though, of Locked On Kraken is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from football to basketball, soccer, esports. We've got it all on betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, which we know you do, you can find those on BetOnline as well. They're the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. Head to the website, use your laptop, your mobile device, whatever you got. BetOnline, where the game starts. You are listening, of course, to Locked On Kraken, a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Erica L. Ayala. After you listen to us, make sure you check out Locked On Sports Today. It has everything that you need, from the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports. Go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts like only we here at the Locked On Network can do. Locked On Sports Today is available on the Odyssey app, wherever you're listening or watching right now. So go check it out. And also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. We have some fun there. I love the comments. That's how I learned that there were some Vegas Golden Knight podcast crap talking, because I said my bold prediction, bring it. Bring it. You know, we play Vegas end of the season, and I am very excited. I am jacked up for those games because they're going to be good. They're going to be good. I might have to see what the schedule is looking like. If I can make it work, if I can swing both of those games, oh, that's going to be so much fun, because I really do hope I get to spit my game, talk my crap. That was the song I was listening to. It's a Biggie song. I'll link it if you want in the show notes. But spit your game. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about crap. I was talking about mess, and I like talking about mess. So let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. All right. In this game, 5-4 win over the Anaheim Ducks. We saw Jamie Alexiak take what looked like kind of knee-to-knee-ish contact, and he was slow to get up, had to go down the tunnel. He did return to the game. Unfortunately, we also saw that Morgan Geekie made contact. He was kind of looking away from the play and skated into Adam Larson. So friendly fire, and he dropped right away, contact to the head, blindsided, and he did not return. He went down to the tunnel. He did not return. Dave Haxtell at the end of the game did not have an update. You know, we talked in playback. You don't want to speculate, but he looked rattled. No idea what the extent of the injury is, but it is a head injury. So, we have to be careful with those, whether it's because of evaluation or something that is lingering because of that hit. If Morgan Geekie is out of the lineup, does that give room for Shane Wright, who in 2 games now, did they play yesterday? In 2 games has 3 goals for the Coachella Valley Firebirds. And we had JD Hernandez. I was kind of bickering with him a little bit because everyone is like, Shane Wright needs more time. He needs this. He needs that. And I'm like, I'm so tired of this conversation. I know if you listen to Locked on Kraken, you already know this. So I apologize that I have to keep talking about it. But Shane Wright keeps being national news. National news. I'm tired of talking about his development plan. I've been saying, who do we take out? Morgan Geekie has been having a great season. Sprong got us the game-winning goal after being a PTO. The disrespect. And he's come back. You're going to put him out of position? I think, and I've said this before, though it hurts my little heart. If you're going to replace someone, I think it's probably Donato. But then are you going to put Geekie out of position? Are you going to put Shane Wright out of position? We need Geekie for face-off. I guess technically he can still take, anyway, the point is, who are you going to put out of position? Shane Wright or Morgan Geekie? Is that fair to Geekie just to get Shane Wright a taste so we can maybe kind of sort of figure out if he's ready for the NHL? What he's doing in the AHL is fantastic. I love to see it. And that's what he needs for his development, for his confidence. We've talked about this. He's talked about it. Listen to what he's saying. He needed that confidence boost. We didn't have time to give that to him early in this season. And that's okay. Stop forcing the issue, people. All right. Got my little rant out. Now, that being said, whether it's a game or several games, if Morgan Geekie is out, does this leave room to bring up Shane Wright? We know he's on a conditional loan. That's going to come to an end soon. I'm pretty sure he doesn't make it. Well, again, it's 14 days or 5 games. I guess whichever comes first. So he's not making it to December 18th, the home opener for Coachella Valley, unless that conditional loan gets extended. We've talked about this. The math ain't math in there. So we're going to have to reevaluate things. But if Geekie is out, is he the player that we bring up? The fourth line for us has been important. The fourth line has been critically important. So then do you then put him somewhere else? Which they did, actually. Last time Shane Wright was in the lineup, he was not on the fourth line. He was not centering the fourth line, which I kind of liked, except I don't like that because was he with Tanev and Gord? I guess so. I think he was with Tanev and Gord. Those two guys, that they were critical for our first ever 5-game win streak, our first 5-game win streak of this season, hoping we can build on it. So I think if you're going to disrupt, air quotes, those guys, you can disrupt them and it'll be okay. But the chemistry on the other lines, I don't want to mess with it. Also, we have to factor in that Bjorkstrand has changed lines. So I don't know. This is a question I'm literally asking out loud. I'm asking myself out loud. I'm asking you out loud. What do we think here? I think there's a piece of me that thinks it is going to be Shane Wright. And that's okay. What did he learn? I've wanted to see him put to the test. There's things that we still don't know about Shane Wright. And I'm tired of talking about all the hypotheticals and the hype and the hypotheticals. I want to see what he's going to do. I thought this was a good challenge for him. He's done what he needed to do for the most part in the AHL. Defensive game, two-way game, not there yet. We talked to JD about that. You'll probably hear me, if you listen to Locked on Ducks, you'll probably hear me and JD talking about that. This could be the opportunity that Shane Wright and the Seattle Kraken are waiting for. I hate to say that it could be because of a Morgan Geekie injury, but that's hockey. That's hockey, baby. So we got a lot to figure out, folks. It's, quote unquote, good problems to have. So the Seattle Kraken, it will be in action again. I wanted to see them get 12 points in November. They have their next opportunity to win 3 outright against the LA Kings tomorrow, and we'll be watching it on playback. Hope you'll join me. That's our show, folks. Remember, you can check out Locked On Today for your news across sports. You know how be kind to yourself and to each other. I'm going to be kind to myself. I don't fly out till later, so I'm going to go enjoy some fun in the sun, get some ocean healing. I hope you find a moment for yourself. Be kind to yourself and to each other. Hold fast. Stay true. Tomorrow's a game day episode. Let's go Kraken. I'll see you tomorrow.